So we're going to do a slight modification to our circuit boards that we built earlier, and we're going to mount it on top of the box like that, minus the battery tray, because we're not going to have the battery tray attached to this particular board. So we'll take this off, we'll desolder the connections for the power, and then what we're going to do is put a hole in the end here, and we're going to put that connector in there so that we can just plug into our power pack. You got the 4 holes there. We'll just do 4 holes in the top here, and that'll sit on top of the casing, because you still need to get access to some controls on here, and also these pins here that you adjust to get your different waveforms out of. So we can't put it inside the box, unfortunately, but we can mount it on top of the box. So what I'm going to do here is just desolder the 2 leads. This is only a single-sided board, so it's not overly difficult. Just put the solder gun on there, take off the solder, and drops off. So as you can see here, we just used some masking tape. We kind of found the centre, and we put a small punch mark in there, and that'll allow that to sit in that position there once we get it in. And we've also done the same to the top for the board to sit on top of the box. So to actually get the holes, we've gone across and gone from centre to centre one way. As you can see here, it's about 35mm, and then we've done the same lengthways, and there we've got 50mm. So we use that as our measurements for our template, and once we've got that, we just transferred all that onto there, and then make sure we just did a double check and made sure that the mounting holes lined up with our punch marks. So as you can see, we've got our power connector put into the end, and we've drilled the 4 holes on the top to mount the board. We're just going to put one more hole in for the power cable, which will connect to here and back up to the board. So we'll just put that in now. So as you can see, we've got our 2 wires on. We've got the positive here, which is centre pin, and then we've got the outer, which is the negative for the connections there. Back through one of the screw holes or the holes that we use to hold the old battery on. We'll be putting some spacers on that, and then securing that down 4 points, and then that'll sit on top of the board like that, so we can get access to the areas we described earlier. And then we can just plug in externally and put our battery on, and that'll just save having a battery underneath, which you really can't get to if you bolt this down on top of the right board. And the other thing, I can disconnect the battery externally or take it off altogether, which means you don't have a battery sitting in there, and if it goes flat or bad, then it's going to cause right corrosion and problems with the wiring. So we've only got this completed, and this is a little function generator, fixed frequency as we said before. It's got variable amplitude, and you change your frequency type from sine to sawtooth to square wave by changing the connectors along here, so that's why we had to leave it on the top. Also our adjustment here for amplitudes on the top. But as you can see, we've mounted it to the top of the box and put some little spacers on it. Our power connection is now on on the end of it there. Made up a little lead from a 9-volt battery connector, which we can just plug into the side, and we just attach the battery here and use it when we need to use it, or we can just put a 9-volt supply lead in there so we can use it off the bench supply.